Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Ielts Listening Acuity. This is me, 𝐻𝐿𝐬𝐬𝐢𝐬𝐬, joining you from 𝐁𝐝𝐴 Academy. Yes, we've come with yet another Ielts Listening Live to help you with your listening. I hope you're all doing good and you're all having a beautiful weekend. Yes, but we will always be in touch with our materials no matter what. Because I've told you, if you're preparing for an exam, if you're preparing for something important, it is imperative that you stay in touch with it every day, okay? Even on weekends, even on days when you have a holiday, or even when on days when you don't have class, it's important that you do something related to that. Okay, that's why we are coming with our listening lives even on Saturday, because you'll be able to do at least one part of it. You don't have to do all of it. You can do at least one section of it and stay in touch with the materials, and that's very important. I always tell this to my students, whether it be on listening practice or speaking practice, writing, whatever it be, you should keep practicing it till the day you go for your exam, okay? The day just before your exam also, you will be practicing something. It's not that, I'm not saying towards the end of your exam. I mean towards the end of your practice days. I wouldn't recommend you learning something new, but I would say it's important that you focus more on your composure. You focus more on your mental health. You focus more on being relaxed and going through what you've already learned, but staying and trying at least one section every day. Don't sleep a single day without, don't go to bed a single night without having done something, one part of it or something related to your Ielts, listening, reading, writing, or speaking, if you're actually preparing for your Ielts test. And that is of utmost importance, and I hope you guys are doing it. And a lot of students don't know how to prepare themselves during the last few days of their exam. I think the biggest mistakes a lot of students make is that they tend to learn some new things during the last days of their exam, which is not going to work. One thing, even if you put in a lot of effort to learning new things, you may not be able to remember any of it for your exam. Why are we learning? We're learning because we want to execute it somewhere. We are not learning things for the sake of learning, right? We're learning it because we want to use it somewhere. So when you learn something, always keep in your mind that you're doing it for a reason. So if you are learning, even if you are learning towards the last days of your exam practice, what will happen is you'll be learning, but you won't be able to use it anywhere. So during the last few days, maybe the last 1 week, I would say, or at least during the last 3-4 days, I would say you focus on the things you already learned. For example, if it's with writing, the different types of essays and the types of wordings, the phrases that you would use for each type of essay, for each type of diagram explanation, and that's the case for a letter, like different phrases. Then if it's with reading, how will you just read really fast, and how would you maintain that speed? And when it comes to listening, just revise the things. Okay, what all things do I have to be careful about? What are the common mistakes I make? So every time you practice, you should make a note of the common mistakes you're making. For some people, it would be spelling. For some others, it's that they don't read the instructions. Some students always make this problem. They don't read the instructions at all. And I've told you the importance of reading instructions when it comes to Ielts listening. If you don't read the instructions in Ielts listening, you are going to lose a lot of marks, because even if technically your answer is correct, you won't get marks for it. The word count or all the informations that are given about must be read. So if you have that habit, make sure you work on that thing, and you have those 3-4 days of the time, or those 3-4 days of the days when you make sure that you have corrected all the mistakes that you've been making, or that you were making right from the beginning of your practice. And when you do that, things would be, and then another thing that you have to do is just stay calm, relaxed, and composed. That's very important. That is the most important thing for any exam. We might have done all that we should be doing, but at the end of the day, if you're really worried, if you're really nervous, you wouldn't be able to perform well, especially for your listening test. Trust me. I mean, even for speaking, for reading and writing and all, even if you are a bit nervous, you'll be able to manage, because you have time to calm yourself, and you have time to tell yourself and make yourself understand that you need to focus and things like that, and you're all alone. When it comes to listening, what happens is you just hear the audio once. You hear the audio only once, and then if you're not focusing, you wouldn't be able to write in it. If you get distracted at that point, or if you're nervous and if you were not able to listen to what they said, and you don't have a second time, you don't have a second chance, you don't listen to that part again, you're losing marks for it. So for listening exam, being calm and composed is very important. So always, and you have all these three modules on the same day, so it's important that you stay very relaxed on that day, and always have this thought. Teach yourself, try different methods like meditation or all that you think would work for you to give your best for your exam. So make sure that you try your best. You tell yourself, whatever I've learned, I've done my best, and I'm gonna leave the rest. So your motto should be do the best and leave the rest, because that's all we can do. So don't worry, I'm telling this for students who are going for the exam, and I think over these days or months, I haven't given you an instruction on how to prepare yourself during the last few days of your preparation, of what to do and what all things do you have to focus. And I always tell my students that don't learn or don't try to learn anything new. For example, a new essay type or something new. No, don't go for it because you don't have the time for it. Like I said, every time you learn something, you should always have a thought in your mind that you're not learning it for the sake of learning. You're learning it for a reason. You want to use it somewhere. The time you spend, every time you practice your listening, you should always keep in your mind, you're not doing it for the sake of doing. You're not doing it because you want to show somebody, you want to show your boss that you did it, but you're doing it because you need to see an improvement. So it's not in the number of materials you practice, or it is not about the time you spent on it. It's always about the quality time you spent with it. All right, so even if you're doing one section, it's fine, but make sure you give 100%, you're focused, you're staying calm and composed. And I always tell this to my students, when you practice, make sure you lock your room and you are staying away from all the distractions. Keep your phone aside, or sometimes you might even need your phone for looking at the materials, but always try to keep your electronic gadgets aside and sit with your material and you, so that you are able to focus on it and you're able to put in 100% effort in it. That goes a long way. Sometimes I've seen students coming and telling me, I practice it every day, and when I ask them, they have their kid nearby, or they have someone calling them from the office in between, and a lot of distraction. Such practices are of no use. So I'm telling you, no matter, so you might feel like, oh, I tried so hard, but I did not get the result. That's because of the quality. The quality of time, or the quality time you spent with the material, is of utmost importance. And I know you guys all know about it, but we all fail at times to keep up with it. So these are the things. So the things I wanted to tell you was how to be prepared for the last few days of your exam preparation. Don't try to learn anything new. Instead, just focus on the things that you've learned before, and try to avoid the mistakes that you were repeatedly making. So that is one thing you have to do. And every time you learn something, learn in such a way that you will be able to use it for your exam. So don't do it for the sake of doing it, but spend quality time with the materials. Always try to stay focused. And also on the exam day or towards the exam, make sure you take care of your mental health. You stay calm and composed and relaxed. That is an overlooked part when it comes to exam preparation. If you are not mentally stable, if you are not calm, you wouldn't be able to remember anything you learned. You know, your memory will be affected, your focus will be affected. For IELTS, what I find is, of course, memory is important, but more than that, your presence of mind and your focus is of utmost importance. So sleep well, not just the day before the exam, but few days before the exam. Make sure you're sleeping well. It's not just for you to be to avoid you being sleepy in the examination hall, it is for you to stay focused. Like everybody talks about sleeping well the day before the exam, but I would say make sure you sleep really well the last whole week, because you need to be sharp when you go for your exam. So make sure you do all these things. These are little things. We always talk about the language aspects, we always talk about the techniques and everything, but I think the same importance should be given to things like these, because whatever we do, whatever effort we put in all the other things, if you want to see a result out of it, these things should also be given some attention. These things should also be taken care of. Okay, for listening and all, being focused and your concentration is very important, and you have to stay focused for maybe like 20-30 minutes, and it's not, I mean, not 20 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes. That is not a small thing to do. So make sure you build your stamina. So even when I tell you, you will be doing one section, you can do at least one section. It's not, I don't mean that you only need to do one section a day. You need to do at least one whole test a day. I'm telling you, on those days when you're really sick, or on those days when you have holidays, or when you feel like you have to take a break from it, then just do at least one. All the other days, make sure you do one whole test minimum. Just because I said, oh, Hannah was like, we need to focus more on the quality of the time we spend, and not the number of sections or the number of tests we do. No, it's not that. I'm not telling you that don't do it. It's just that you have to do it, but you also have to focus on the quality of time you spend. And every day, try to spend 3-4 hours for your IELTS preparation. One test each, make sure you do it. Only practice can help you, no matter how many tricks or tips or strategies you learn and you hear, you listen to. If you don't practice, none of it is going to be helpful for you. Nothing is going to help you. So now, without wasting much time, let's get to our material. So you know the drill. What we usually do, I play the audio of one section, and this is section 2 from Cambridge IELTS 6 test 4. Section 2, that's what we have here. So you have questions from 11 to 20, that is section 2. Section 2 is not very difficult. This one is also very simple. Try to get 10 out of 10. This is a very simple thing, so I want all of you to get 10 out of 10, okay? Make sure you get it. Listen carefully to the audio. You just have one section, and you write the answers, and after that we will be discussing the answers with the help of audio script. An audio script will be provided, and the answers will be written on it, marked on it, and you'll be able to see the other part as well. So now the audio will be played and the questions will be displayed on the screen.
Section 2. You will hear an introductory talk to a group of temporary workers at an international travel exhibition. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 13. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 13.
Good morning and welcome everybody. I'm Jenny Stewart and I'm the staff manager here at the Exhibition Centre. We're expecting this year's International Travel Exhibition to attract over 10,000 visitors a day, ladies and gentlemen, and you are among the 200 extra staff recruited to help look after them. Now, to help things run smoothly, we have divided you into 4 teams: the blue team, the green team, the red team and the yellow team. So first, I'll explain how the teams are divided up, and then we'll be giving you colour-coded T-shirts so we can identify you more easily. First of all, those who will be looking after the phones and handling all calls regarding the exhibition, you will be on the red team. Now, we've also put the entrance staff on the red team, and you'll be stamping the entrance tickets and giving out publicity leaflets, okay? Those of you involved in distributing entrance tickets will be on the yellow team, and we've also put those of you who'll be staffing the information booths around the conference centre on the yellow team, so you'll be getting a yellow t-shirt. Now, most of the hospitality staff have been put in the blue team, so the chefs among you and the kitchen hands will all need a blue t-shirt, but because of the sheer numbers, all waiting staff will be on the yellow team, and this includes the bar staff among you. Those who will be monitoring and directing the traffic in the car parks are on the green team, so you'll need to get a green t-shirt. This year, we've also employed a considerable number of attendants to direct the human traffic around the conference centre. Now, you'll be working in the exhibition hall at all times, giving directions and generally helping people whenever you can. And you will be in the red team, so please collect a red t-shirt.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 14 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 14 to 20.
Right. Now that everyone knows what team they're in, we'll get on with the orientation and training program. And first, I'll run through the rest of today's program, which you should have in front of you so that you can get a general idea of what else is in store today. This introduction finishes at 9:30. And then you'll be hearing from Anne Smith. Anne works in the accounts department on level 2, and she looks after all temporary staff, and so she is the person to see if you have any problems regarding pay. Anne will be explaining when and how you get this. She will also be handing out your tax forms. And I will just stress that all tax forms must be completed and returned to Anne before your pay can be processed. Following Anne's talk, you'll hear from Peter Chen, our conference manager, and he will be going over a plan of the conference centre with you, which will help you to orient yourselves. He will also go through the security arrangements with you and show you the fire exits. Then at 10:30, there will be a coffee break in the staff canteen, which is located down on the ground floor. Now, after the break, we'll be moving to a different location for a video presentation, so instead of coming back here, we'd like you all to go to lecture room 311. You'll find it on this same level just down the hall, and there you will be shown a video about important safety issues in the workplace called Safety at Work. We'll finish off the morning with lunch, which should give everyone a chance to meet and get to know each other, and we'll be serving you a buffet lunch in the main hall, which is on the first floor from 12 o'clock. After lunch, you'll be divided up into your teams to meet your team leaders, and we're hoping to be all finished by 3, so I won't delay you any longer, and I'll hand over.
That is the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Yes, so did you guys try it? It was an easy one, right? You had question number 11 to 20, 10 questions. So I hope those questions were really easy for you. And I really want all of you to get 10 out of 10 for that because it was that simple. All right, so we'll discuss the answers. There aren't many things to explain in this. These are like very simple questions, but of course some instructions, if you are not giving much attention to it, then your answers might go wrong. So like I always say, if you want, you can take a screenshot of it, of the questions, or you can take, you can copy them down. so that you will be able to have a look at it when I discuss the answer. So it would be always good if you have the questions handy with you while I discuss the answers. Okay, so let's look at it. I'll give you some time. You have question number 11 to 13 first. Which team will do each of the following jobs? Choose 3 answers from the box and write the correct letter A to D. Next 2 questions 11 to 13. Teams: A, blue team; B, the yellow team; C, the green team; D, the red team. 11. Checking entrance tickets. 12. Preparing refreshments. 13. Directing car park traffic. Okay. Questions 14 to 20. Complete the table below. Write no more than 3 words and or a number for each answer. Travel Expo, temporary staff orientation program. First column, time. Second column, event. Third column, details. First row, right. 9:30 a.m. Talk by Ann Smith. Information about pay. Next line, we'll give out the 14th question, blank from. 10 a.m. Talk by Peter Chen. Next column, we'll discuss conference center play. Below that, right, we'll explain about arrangements for. 15, blank and fire exits. 10:30 a.m. Next, right, 10:30 a.m. coffee break. Next one, go to staff canteen on the. Below that, right, 16, blank. 11 a.m. Video presentation. Next, go to 17, blank. Video title. 18, blank. 12, next one, right, next line, right, 12. Buffet lunch. Next, right, go to the 19, blank, on first floor. Next, line right, 1 p.m. meet the. Question number 20, blank. Next line right, 3 p.m. finish. Okay, so these are the questions. Now let's look at one by one. Which team will do each of the following jobs? Choose 3 answers from the box and write the correct letter A to D next to questions 11 to 13. So here they have not mentioned any letter will be repeated. Right. Choose from the box 3 answers from the box. Write the correct letter A to D. You have to take 3 letters and write A to D. So and we have 4 options. They've not mentioned anything will be repeated. Sometimes they mention it will be repeated, but here they've not. So we assume that no letter is repeated. Okay. So they've specifically told you to write only the letters A to D. Between that, write the letters. Just write the letter. So if option A is the answer, and imagine you wrote against 11, the blue team, will you get marks for that? No. Why? Because they asked us to write the letter. So technically, if blue team is the correct answer, even if blue team is the correct answer, we won't get marks for it because we did not follow the instructions. So it's very important that you follow the instructions. Okay. So we have teams, a blue team, yellow team, green team, and red team. 11. Checking entrance tickets. Okay. 12. So entrance tickets. Checking entrance tickets. Okay. Let's see. Now turn to section 2. Section 2. You'll hear an introductory talk to a group of temporary workers at an international travel exhibition. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 30. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 30. Good morning and welcome, everybody. I'm Jenny Stewart, and I'm the staff manager here at the exhibition center. We're expecting this year's international travel exhibition to attract over 10,000 visitors a day. Ladies and gentlemen, and you are among the 200 extra staff recruited to help look after them. Now, to help things run smoothly, we have divided you into 4 teams. So while you're listening to this, we're looking for the part where they're talking about entrance tickets. So you shouldn't get tired. You should be like, okay, I'll take a break. I'll listen to it when they start talking about it. No, you should keep listening to it. You should be very attentive because the answer might come in between. So this kind of questions are a bit tricky because you people have this tendency to just not listen or lose their focus when they're not hearing anything related to the answer. But you have to be alert and attentive all the time. So now, to help things run smoothly, we've divided you into 4 teams. The blue team, the green team, the red team, and the yellow team. So first, I'll explain how the teams are divided up. And then we'll be giving you color-coded t-shirts so we can identify you more easily. First of all, those who will be looking after the phones and handling all calls regarding the exhibition will be on the red team. So this is about phone calls. We don't want phone calls, we want entrance tickets. Now we've also put the entrance staff on the red team. Yes, now red team. Entrance tickets, entrance staff, red team. And you'll be stamping the entrance tickets. Yes, stamping the entrance tickets. So what is the answer for the 11th question? Red team. Red team is what? Red team is option D. So right, option D. Now preparing refreshments. Let's see. Preparing refreshments. So, okay, those of you involved in distributing entrance tickets will be on the yellow team. Okay, distributing tickets. Okay, that's not what we want. And we've also put those of you who will be staffing the information booths around the conference center on the yellow team. Okay, staffing the information booths around the conference center, that is also put in the yellow team. So you'll be getting a yellow t-shirt. Now, most of the hospitality staff have been put in the blue team. So hospitality, refreshments. Okay, those are related words, right? So refreshments come under hospitality. So most of the hospitality staff have been put in the blue team. So refreshments, hospitality, yes, it matches. Blue team, we'll mark it. So the chefs among you and the kitchen hands will all need a blue shirt. So what? Refreshments. So when you hear something related to it, mark it, even if you don't know the exact word. If you hear the exact word right later, just put that. If you don't, you put the one that you thought was similar. Okay, so hospitality and refreshments, they match. So it's blue team. So at 12th one, the answer is option A. Now, directing car park traffic. Directing car park traffic. So that is what we need next. But because of the sheer, that means very large numbers, all waiting staff will be on the yellow team, and this includes the bar staff among you. those who will be monitoring, directing the car parks, direct information is given, are on the green team. So green team. So where is green team? So we won't write green team. So in the audio we'll be hearing green team, and you will have a tendency to write green team against it, but don't do that. Always remember the instruction. Go look at the box and see which letter they've written against green team. So see which letter they've put against green team. C. So you have to write C. What will happen if you write green team? What will happen? You lose your marks, because they've asked you to write the letter. And when you copy also, make sure you write this letter. So you have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the answer sheet, right? Even during that time, you have to write these letters. Against 11, only write D. 12, write 12. So write like 11. Against that, write D. 12. A, 13, C, done. Enough. You don't have to write the names of the teams. That's good, right? You're saving your time. Okay, so now we're moving on to the next question. Question number 14 to 20. Complete the table below. Write no more than 3 words and or a number. Okay. Now, I've explained this n number of times in the live. So I hope by this time you all know that. How do you do this? But still, I'll just explain this in 1 or 2 seconds. No more than 3 words and or a number. So which are the possibilities? You can write 1 word. 1 word like no. What's 1 word? Okay, you can write 1 word. One way of writing the answer is writing no. Okay, 1 word. You're writing 1 word. Another way of writing is no more. You're writing 2 words. You can also write 3 words. No more than. That is also fine. Okay, so this is one thing. Then you can write a number with it. You can write 1 word and a number. You cannot write more than 3 words. These are 3 words, you cannot write more than that. So you can write 25 or 300, or you can write 5 lakh. Okay, these are all 1 numbers. It's 1 number. You don't have to count the digits. It's about that number. You can write that number as well. Okay. Or 10 o'clock. These are all fine. Okay, these are all numbers. 1 number you can write. Or what they've said, you can write no more than 3 words and a number. So this is like 3 words, no more than 3 words and a number. Then or a number. That means you don't have to write any words. You can simply write a number like 5 lakh, or you won't have such 5 lakh or those kind of numbers you wouldn't get. But I'm just giving you 25, 35, 10 o'clock, 25 pounds, whatever. You have to write it. Okay, nothing else. Is it clear? Yes, so you already know it because I've explained this multiple times. So now look at it. I'm explaining it again and again because it's very important. If you don't know that, you may lose marks for all these 7 questions. So 9:30 a.m. time event. So it is about Travel Expo temporary staff orientation program. Time event details are given. Time 9:30 a.m. Talk by Ann Smith. Information about pay. Will give out the dash form. Let's see what form. Okay. Yes. So we'll start from where we stopped. This year, we've also employed a considerable number of attendants to direct the human traffic around the conference center. Now, you'll be working in the exhibition hall at all times, giving directions and generally helping people whenever you can, and you will be in the red team. So please collect a red t-shirt. Before you hear the rest of the talk, you now have some time to look at questions 14 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 14 to 20. Right now, right, now that everyone knows what team they are in, we'll get out with the orientation and training program. First, I'll run through the rest of today's program, which you should have in front of you, so that you can get a general idea of what else is in store today. This introduction finishes at 9:30, and then you'll be hearing from Ann Smith. So, okay, from 9:30 onwards, you'll be hearing from Ann Smith. Ann works in the accounts department on level 2, and she looks after the temporary staff, and so she is the person to see if you have any problems regarding pay. Yes, they're coming to the point. Ann will be explaining when and how you get this. She'll also be handing over your tax forms. What forms? Tax forms. So what is the answer? Tax. Should you write tax forms? No, form is already given. So what do you have to write? Tax. Clear? Is it clear? Yes. Now let's look at question number 15. Okay. And I will just stress that all tax forms must be completed and returned to Ann before you pay can be processed. So we'll look at next question. What is next question? Next is 10 a.m. 10 a.m. What's happening? Talk by Peter Chen. We'll discuss conference center play. We'll explain about agreements for, okay, agreements for dash and fire exits. Okay, let's see. One second. Okay. Following Ann's talk, you will hear from Peter Chen, our conference manager, and he will be going over a plan of the conference center with you, which will help you to orient yourselves. He'll also go through the security arrangements with you and show you the fire exits. He will also go through what? Security arrangements, and will show you the fire exits. Okay, so what arrangements will he go through? Security, okay, and fire exits. So that's what will happen. You'll write security. So 15 you'll write. Now 10:30 a.m. Sorry for my really shabby handwriting. 10:30 a.m. coffee break. Okay, go to staff canteen on the, so 10:30 what's happening? Let's see. Then at 10:30 you have all the keywords given there. That's why I said this is very simple. This is like so direct. Okay, then at 10:30 there will be a coffee break in the staff canteen, which is located down on the ground floor. So that is on where? Ground floor. Go to the staff canteen on the ground floor. (11 a.m. video presentation. Go to dash and video title. So where do they have to go to? And the video title. So we know that the keyword here is video presentation and 11 a.m. Okay. Now after the break, we'll be moving to a different location for a video presentation. Yes, we're going to hear about the video presentation. So instead of coming back here, we would like you all to go to the lecture room 311. Okay, so you'll find it on the same level just down the hall. So lecture room 311. So you will write what you have to go through. You have, for the video presentation, you have to go through lecture room 311. So you look, first one was one word, second one was one word, third one was 2 words. Third one you look, 17th one, what was it? 2 words and a number. So you look at it as 311, right? So will you consider it as 3 numbers? No, it's it's not the digit. You're not counting the number of digits. You're just looking at the number, that the unit, that's 1. 311 is 1. Okay, so 1 number. So that's okay. That comes under the instruction they've given there. Okay, now what is the video title? We have to look for the video title. We'll look at it. So, and there you'll be shown a video about important safety issues in the workplace called Safety at Work. So, a video about important safety issues in the workplace called, a video called what? Safety at Work. So, what is the video title? Safety at Work. So, you'll write Safety at Work. Now 12, buffet lunch, go to the dash on first floor. We'll finish off the morning with lunch, which should give everyone a chance to meet and get to know each other. And we'll be serving you a buffet lunch in the main hall. So where is this buffet lunch given? Main hall. So go to the main hall. So write main hall. A buffet lunch will be given in the main hall. So go to the main. So there in the question they've given go to. That means they're saying buffet lunch is given in the main hall. So that is same as going. That means they have to go to the main hall to get the buffet lunch, which is on the first floor. Okay, on the first floor, that information is also given there. From 12 times. So they're giving the main keywords after saying the answer. But when you hear that the word buffet lunch itself, you should be able to write this answer. Okay, like I always say, if you hear something in the question, the keyword in the question, and you hear something related to that, and you think that could be the answer, just make a note of it. If that is not the answer, if you have another, if they have another point where they're giving you the main keyword and giving you the answer, well and good, we'll write that. But what if we don't have it and that's the only instruction they're giving? So it's safe, to be on the safer side, I would always tell you to write it down. So I hope with that you've written main hall. After lunch, okay, let's see what happens after that. 1 p.m. meet the dash. Okay, so right, 1 p.m. what's happening? So after lunch, you will be divided up into your teams to meet your team leaders. So after lunch, that means this is lunch, and after that what is happening? Meet the team leaders. So meet the what? Team leaders. So you have to write the next word, team leaders, and we are hoping to be all finished by 3. So I won't delay any longer and I'll hand over. That is the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers, and you know the drill. You're not going to check the answer, but you'll start reading your questions of section 3. So you will write team leaders there. Okay. Team leaders. So these are the answers. DAC, tax, security, ground floor, lecture room 311, safety at work. Those are 3 words. Main hall, 2 words. Team leaders, 2 words. So I'll show you the answers once again. My handwriting is really shabby. So DAC, tax, security, ground floor, lecture room. Tax, you don't have to write forms again. Okay, only tax. Security, ground floor, lecture room, safety at work, main hall, team leaders. Okay, so I hope it's clear. If you have any questions, like I always say, free feel to comment and we will be answering your questions. So all the very best today. I gave you some instruction on how to prepare for exam during the last days of your preparation, right before the exam. What all things you have to do. Those are really important, but we don't give much importance to it most of the time. So I think I should be giving some attention to those kind of things as well to get the best results. So make sure you keep practicing and keep working towards your dreams, and wishing you all the very best. Bye-bye, take care, and wish you a beautiful weekend.